Our lives are filled with choices, responsibility, and effort. And in this meditation, we're going to shift our focus and experience life as a choiceless, effortless, inevitable phenomenon. It's important to note that this is not a mental philosophy, it's an experience. The concept of choicelessness arrives out of experience, out of deep presence. This is what makes it real. And in this meditation, I'm going to invite you into deep presence to experience this directly for yourself. So I'm going to move through many different aspects of our experience, and we're going to explore, feel how all these different aspects of our experience come to be. Okay. So I start as always by just inviting that you can close your eyes if you want. Maybe take some deeper breaths. And we sink into the weight of our body. And what I want you to pay attention to focus on, is the fact that there is a heavy physical body experience. And as we focus on the felt sense of this, my question is this something that you are doing? Does it take any effort to have a body? To have a physical body that gravity is grounding, that gravity is enacting upon? And if the answer is no, it doesn't take any effort, I just invite you to relax into that. Relax into the feeling, the realization that it doesn't take any effort to have a body. So if it doesn't take any effort to have a body, then it's happening on its own. We don't have a choice whether we have a physical body or not, experientially right now. We can do the same thing to our sensations. We shift our focus from the quality of weight to all the other qualities that are moving through our body, such as hunger, itchiness, cold, hot. And as we become very present to this, we can realize that our sensations are a constant flow of experience, of energy through our nervous system. Our sensations are not static by nature, they're fluid, they're always changing. And again, my question is, does it take any effort to have sensations? Do you choose the sensations that you have? Does it take any effort for your nervous system to be moving this energy? Or are your sensations an inevitable, choiceless flow that you are just discovering moment to moment? If you find that it is this way, that you are experiencing your sensations as a choiceless, inevitable flow, then I just invite you to relax into that. To relax into the sensation of that, the realization of that, this kind of focus that we are holding. And we shift our focus again, this time to our emotional world. I see how I feel emotionally right now. I discover how I feel. And my question again, is this something that you are doing? Or do you just discover the emotions that are already present, self-generated through the flow state that is your nervous system? What this means is, in the present moment, you don't have any control over how you feel because you're not making it happen. It happens on its own. Again, we can think about this later, but for now, we just stay witnessing this phenomenon. that emotion lives and moves on its own without me having any choice about it. We can do the same thing with our thinking, with our mental world. I shift my focus again. I focus on my thoughts. My question is, does it take any effort to think? Or do thoughts just arrive on their own? When you are deeply present, can you witness the fact that thoughts are just arising on their own? So if I ask you, what's the last great movie that you've seen? Just watch how a mental response just arises on its own. What's your favorite kind of sandwich? What kind of car do you drive? Again, as we witness the inevitable, effortless movement of thought, we just relax into it. We shift our focus again. We're aware. The reason that I can witness my thoughts, feelings, and sensations is because I'm aware. So I shift my focus from what I think and feel to the experience of being aware. Is awareness something that you are doing? Does it take effort to be aware? Do you start or could you stop the experience of awareness? Or is it a fact of life, a self-generated experience which is beyond our control? If it is, we just relax again into that realization. And finally, our focus. You may notice that your focus is going to be moving between all of these different aspects of yourself. Sometimes you're paying attention to your feet. Sometimes you're lost in your thoughts, perhaps. Sometimes you remember or realize that you're aware. Does it take any effort to move your focus? Do you have control over where you move your focus? Now, at the beginning, I invited you to be active, and I said, move your focus over here, move your focus over there. And you did, or at least it happened. Your focus definitely did move. And there probably was the experience of you doing it. But let's be really present to the experience. If I tell you, don't shift your focus to your feet right now, you will find yourself either shifting your focus or not shifting your focus. If I suggest, look around the room that you're in, you will either find that you are looking around the room that you're in or you're not. This is a discovery. You just find out the way that your focus is moving now. Again, we try to stay very present to the experience of our focus and see if this is true. Do I know where I'm going to move my focus before it moves? Or do I just discover the movements and changes which have already happened? Okay, so we expand that to include all phenomenon, our experience itself, which comprises of the things that we see and hear, that we think, that we feel as emotions and sensations, our awareness and our focus that is constantly changing. We relax into all of this. And if we don't try to control our experience, everything happens anyways. And as you really give your presence to this, as you really tune in to this fluidity, this movement, this self-existence, this self-generated experience, you can realize clearly, you can feel clearly that you don't have control over anything. Consciousness is the experience of things that already exist. Everything that you experience already exists, has already become, has already moved. You don't have any say in this thing or the next thing or in your relationship to it. And again, we just try to stay really present to the feeling, the experience of this, rather than our thoughts about it. Is it like this for you, or is it different? How do you feel? How does it affect you to contemplate this, to meditate upon it? Now we return to what I said at the beginning, that life is full of choices, responsibility, and effort. And even if we realize this, that's not going to go away. Those are still going to be there. But these very personal qualities of being me and participating in life, or caring or thinking, we surrender them to a higher order, to the rules, to the nature, the impersonal, effortless nature of consciousness. And rather than destroying or dulling or limiting our choices and responsibility, in my experience, it is an expansion, a fluidity, an encouragement for all aspects of life to move. Definitely including these very personal things like desire and care and motivation and preference. Everything gets to exist, and these qualities get to exist with less resistance. Everything wants to exist, everything wants to move, and we relax into that, just like we would a sail being pushed by the wind or a surfboard riding a wave. I let my body, my personality, my cares and desires, I let them ride the wave of the inevitable, choiceless nature of consciousness. And in this way, I align myself as a being with life itself. And progressively, it gets harder to tell the difference between me and experience, or me and life, or me and consciousness. I become unified with life. And our tool, again, is not just thinking about this, but deep presence with the actual phenomenon of everything arising and moving and existing all on its own.